Oh, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. My name is Heather. I'm the Songbird Stamper, and I am live from Fareham in the United Kingdom at 8 p.m. on UK time for some crafty fun with you. Hello, Mandy. How are you? Hey, Danielle. Nice to see you live. Hello. So I've got a few things to show you this evening before we get crafting with the wonderful blueberry bunches. Hey, Joanna. This is the gorgeous blueberry bunches stamp set, and I'd have forgotten, not realised, kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, but how beautiful a colour blueberry bushel is. So we're going to be playing with that one this evening. I'm normally a purple person, but blueberries needed blueberry bushel. Oh, that's really good to hear, Mandy. I'm so pleased. We've had a lovely day today. Russ and I have been out cycling, and we drove to north of Borden, so quite a way, and we are going to be slowly but surely cycling the Shipwrights Way. So that will be fun. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Shaz. How are you? I know, blueberry bushel's lovely, isn't it, Joanna? Gorgeous colour. I had totally forgotten, though, or it just bypassed me, one of the two. And so, yeah, we've had a really nice day, and on, Sunday, was that nearly a week ago already? No, not quite a week away. So on Sunday, I went up to Luton, of all places, for a lovely day with the Stampin' Up leaders. So there was about half of the UK leaders were there. There's 32 leaders in total. That's anybody over Silver Elite. So 31 leaders. And yeah, there were nearly half of us, I think. So about 15 of us there, which is lovely. Really, really nice. And a good day. A bit of kind of discussion and some networking and some swapping. So we've got some swaps for you. This one was by the lovely Sandra's Craft Studio, and she's made a little tag using the birdhouse. And I know lots of you have got the birdhouse set because both me and my upline Emma used it for events recently. So yeah, she's made this one. Isn't that gorgeous? Good evening, Jill. How are you this evening? Thank you for hopping on live. So Sandra didn't have kind of time. They take such a long time to dry, but the Pearlized Enamel Effects. She put some on here. It's actually the clear one. I've grabbed the silver by mistake, and just kind of dragged them down to look like snow on the kind of roof and the base of the birdhouse. So I thought that was really cute. Yeah, lovely. Really sweet, isn't it? This was by the gorgeous, probably ought to move them out of the way and then you can see one at a time. This was by the gorgeous Stacey Marsh. What a fabulous colour combination. I love this stenciling. It looks printed, doesn't it? And she's used the Mediterranean Blooms die to create a card. So it's not far from the size of a standard card size. But yeah, that's a really, really fun way to use those dies, I think. So one is just basically she's cut two. The front one is kind of normal, and then the second one is just scored on the back and stuck on. Actually, she's kind of I see what she's done. So she's kind of cut one almost like a double, but cut the top off. I don't know how to explain that in words. You'll have to. But yeah, this is all one die, or one kind of passed through the machine, and then that one stuck on top. Because otherwise the score line would be tiny, teeny tiny, but it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This one is by the lovely Helen Jennings, Love a Ducky. Love how she's tacked that in with the tape as well. I don't have any of that tape, but she's coloured all this in, and that's the one of the new online exclusives, I think. Watching Closer to You this evening. Oh, you're in the Isle of Wight. Oh, Mary, how wonderful. Are you on Hollybobs? Are you away? We were supposed to be going away, but neither of us got our bottoms in gear to do anything about it. Hence, we are both sat at home. Russ is actually quite enjoying a holiday at home, I think. He never gets just a week off work to chill, because I always fill his time with stuff when we go away. So, yeah, it's nice for him just to do nothing, which is cool. A lovely cycle ride this morning. This is by the lovely Emma Ryder. Great way to use up scraps. I really like that. Good evening, Cindy. Yeah, still staycation, Mandy. We might go down to Kent for a few days. Who knows? But there's 3 castles in quite close succession to each other in Kent, and we are huge castle fans. So we might go and do those. This is the lovely Jill from Two Big Girls Crafting, Winterly Tree Tops bundle she's used. This is fussy cut from the paper, and this is the die around the outside. But gorgeous, gorgeous. Our 10th wedding anniversary. What a lovely way to celebrate. The Isle of Wight is beautiful. Oh, Mandy, I've been to Hever Castle. Ross has never been, but I have. Yeah, it's a great castle, isn't it? But yeah, Isle of Wight, do not go in February. Everything closes over the winter. We went on holiday with my ex-husband and there was nothing to do, like literally nothing. It rained the whole time. We were stuck in the little chalet. And this is from the lovely Kylie Henshaw. So her brand name is Hello Crafter. I really, really like that in the crumb cake and the white. Gorgeous. I mean, it's not my colour palette usually, but really, really pretty. And this is from Carrie. So this is Carrie Buckham, the other half of Two Big Girls Crafting. And love this kind of more simple. I think this is the blend she's used on the background and then just stamped over the top of it. I think sometimes we can feel like we're cheating a little bit with simpler cards, but really look effective. I remember it was one of Carrie's cards actually, and I was rifling through somebody's swaps when they came back from an event, and I pulled out one with Silly Goose on it, and I was like, this is beautiful. And all it was a white card, maybe a little bit of blending background and the Silly Goose. And I was like, that's all it needs sometimes, but we feel like we're cheating a little bit. This was from the lovely Emma Goddard. And this is a layout that we're actually casing today. So I'm going to case this card and do another layout as well with the blueberry bushels. Blueberry. Yeah, clean and simple cards, Jill. I'm terrible at them, but they do look really effective. Blueberry bunches. This one was from the lovely Helen. Helen Slim, Halsey. Although I can't quite yet get on board with calling her Halsey because I don't know her and it feels very, very informal. But there we go. That's me. And beautiful sketch butterflies. Gorgeous house. She's made the envelope match as well. I love that. And then we have got this one. And this is from, I think this is from, yeah, Tracy McDonald, Papercraft Studio. I love her logo. How cool is that? I feel like I need to up my game with regards to my logo. But she's used the postage stamp dies and paper to create that card there. Really pretty. This is from the gorgeous Sarah Sayers. I have made a card. You'll see this card, this set being used in my blog this month. I've made a card. Be coming out in about a week's time. So yeah, love it. Really, really love it. I went for Pretty Peacock as my colour scheme. Yeah, I don't know why, Joanna. I'm really terrible at clean and simple cards as well. And you, Cindy, it's just so difficult, isn't it? I feel like it's not finished, but they are really effective. So yes, this is my clean and simple card that I took for a swap. So we've got the embossed background there. The light's not great, apologies. And then I've gone for a Daffodil Delight and gosh, which colour did I go for? Was it Smoky Slate or Basic Grey? One of the two. Probably Smoky Slate, I think. And then a little bit of heat embossing. Some black twine, because have we all not got black twine after we've bought the twine from Stampin' Up? But actually, I thought that really went well with that card. Oh, the skate, Mandy, that is, let me get it for you. Sophisticated Sled. So that's that one. Shall I give you a sneak peek? Shall I give you a little sneaky peeky? And I'll show you the rose set in a minute, Cindy. Yeah, the skates is Sophisticated Sled, but it comes with the beautiful dies. And this is a little sneaky peek of my card that's coming up. So I'm just going to score. There we go. Yes, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous set. And she's done a lovely job. The dies are beautiful. And then the rose is Layers of Beauty. Layers of Beauty. That's that one there. And you stamp, and then you have the stencils, which make colouring it in absolute breeze. It's amazing. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You like my little sled die. I had to get it as soon as I saw it. I've never had anything like that. So, yep, love that one. So really, really nice event. Lovely to see some swaps and get some inspiration. And yeah, really, really nice day out. Although you'd have laughed at me. So I drove up straight after work, and I arrived early and I was absolutely shattered. I was like, oh, I'm going to make use of my boot. So I laid my seats down in my car. My boot goes flat, and I laid in the back of my car and had a snooze. Luckily, I can generally sleep most places. It wasn't the easiest to get to sleep, but I definitely did get about 20 minutes, which was lovely. Oh, you're welcome, Cindy. It's a gorgeous rose. So yeah, we're going to case Emma's card today. We did this in team training, our little team get together on Zoom the other day. And I was like, oh, I'd love to share this with you guys. So we're going to cut a card base to 14.5. I'm just going to cut 2 while I'm here, because we're going to make 2 cards tonight. Well, I'm going to try anyway. Try and make 2 cards. And then we're going to score that in half at 10.5. If you normally do like a 14.8 or 14.9 card base, that is absolutely fine as well. You just need to change up your measurements. I do mine at 14.5 because my class ladies find it much easier to do the layers then all come down in 0.5 centimeters, rather than fiddling around with little measurements. And then we've got just a basic white card, and we're going to cut that one down to 10. We are going 10 by 14, and again we're going to need 2 of those. I'm just kind of batch making. So I made 20 of my card before I went, and sometimes it's like so much easier just to make like 20 of the same thing. What the time it takes is designing normally. So this is going to be our first card, and we're going to grab another piece of cardstock, and that's going to measure, I think it's 5.5. I kind of just guessed. Yeah, about 5.5 by 14. So those 2 are normal ones, and then we'll cut this down to 14 again. And cut that at 14 at 5.5. And then while I've got my trimmer out, we're going to cut a tiny sliver of this DSP, so probably about 1 centimetre wide. This is from the Mediterranean Blooms DSP. It's a really, really nice blue. You can use any contrasting blue, or even a black though, to be honest, with this layout. And we're going to cut that to 14 as well. So a little bit of a strip. So we've got our pieces, and we'll be good to go. These cards don't take long to make. Really, really effective. And we're going to bring in a blending brush. I'm just going to do it on here. I don't really know why I'm doing it on here rather than on my glass mat. I think with dark colours, I tend to just get them everywhere. I am a bit messy. So I figured I'll just go for something to do it on, and then I can move that afterwards. This is Blueberry Bushel. I'm just going to start right at the base here. We want this fairly dark. So what have you all been up to this week? Anything interesting? Anybody been anywhere, done anything? Weather's been a little bit like up and down, hasn't it? I've been on holiday, and then I ended up going to a work meeting on Monday and on Tuesday, which I actually really enjoyed. It's not something I get to do normally. My work is kind of very much stuck in my office. I don't get to go out. They don't let us out. But no, it was really nice to kind of network with a few people from work, and kind of it gets you invigorated about the role that you do again, rather than just feeling really, really stagnant. After a bit of a difficult time at work last week, it was quite good. Quite good to go and do something interesting. Wedding dress shopping with your daughter. Oh, Jacqueline, how lovely. Oh, what a wonderful experience. I bet that was really memorable, wasn't it? Did you find the dress? That's the important question. Oh, Mandy, amazing. Done your CV. That's no mean feat, doing a CV, I can tell you. So this is Azure Afternoon. I'm just bringing that in to kind of lift this up. That was quite dark blueberry bushel at the bottom, and then we're just going to go up. We're going to go ink to about here, so just over halfway, and we're going to go a bit lighter at the top using the same blending brush. Ah, you did find it. Oh, that's really good. Oh, good luck, Mandy, as well. I really, really hope that you get one of them if there were jobs that you want. Hopefully you didn't apply for jobs that you don't want, though I have been there as well in life. I just couldn't get a work. When I left the Navy, could not find employment at all, and I must have applied for nearly 100 jobs, and I was gobsmacked that I just couldn't find anything. So yeah, I apply for everything from kitchen fitter. I mean, if anybody knows me, I would be useless as a kitchen fitter. I haven't got a clue. I barely find a screwdriver. But yeah, you have to sometimes just do it, don't you? Oh, you're welcome, Andy. Honestly, it's not an easy process. So yeah, good luck. Good luck. So that's probably good enough. I always find with blending, just little and often, just keep dabbing that ink back on. The worst thing you can do is kind of go really heavy to begin with. And then I'm just going to actually bring that back in. So you're going to see me do something a bit weird in a minute. I don't really know who started this, but I have refilled one of the white pigment ink pads with Memento. So when you buy the Stampin' Up Craft, it's called Craft White ink. When you buy that ink, you actually get the refill separate. So the pad is completely blank. And I've been struggling with my Memento since I did a class where we the Jacob's coat technique that I showed on here. I took it to class to do it, and they don't mind at all, but they all dried out. All the pads were used up, and so I refilled them, and I just couldn't get a nice clean stamp. Yeah, much better coverage. It stamps beautifully, like absolutely beautifully. You just need to work it a little bit to make sure you've not got too much ink or too less ink on there. But once you've got it sorted, you've got a really nice coverage. And I'm just going to stamp that over the edge, but look at it, it's beautiful. And we're just going to go in there with one. I might just go a little bit further up actually, just so that I can go there. And then we'll come off this side as well. Just trying to think how far up can I just go like that. I want a leaf in here, so let's do that. Let's go that leaf. I'm being pernickety. So I've got that leaf coming in there, and then this one is going to come across here. Like that. So not coming all the way up the page, and we're going to cover this bit up here anyway. I just wanted that progression. Up the but yeah, you can see how beautifully that stamps. So if you do struggle with Memento, that I would recommend. Grab yourself a white ink pad and a Memento refill, and then just go up and refill it. So that one there, we're just going to leave that to dry for a second, that ink. I'll bring in a piece of scrap, and then we're going to stamp another one of those, same shape, just from a scrap here that I've got. And we're going to colour that one in. Colour-wise, for colouring, I've got Lemon Lime Twist, Blueberry Bushel, and Azure Afternoon, and my trusty Garden Green pencil. So I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of kind of layering. If I can get that in focus, never mind. Show you how to do a little bit of layering. Oh, the blues are gorgeous. It's such a lovely colour. Yeah, I'd totally forgotten. So this is just dark Lemon Lime Twist. There's not a great deal of difference in colour between the dark and the light, so you can get away with kind of doing, probably to do 2 leaves at once. And then go over the top with the light. If your coloured between light and dark is really different, you want to blend as quickly as possible, because the more the ink dries, the harder it is to blend. That's my little tip, or colouring tip. So that's that Lemon Lime Twist. I think that real bright green just pops against the blue as well. But I'm going to show you how to make that pop even more using that coloured pencil. That's the watercolour pencil, but you don't have to use them as watercolours. So you can just use them as normal colouring pencils. And in fact, if you haven't got the Stampin' Up pencils, you just any green pencil. Any green. Any green will do. Russ is telling me we ought to get in the garden tomorrow and do some gardening. I'm not overly convinced it's a good idea, but sometimes you have to show a bit of willing, don't you? To be fair, he never does hours out there, so if we go out first thing in the morning and do a bit, and it'll probably appease him. So now I'm just going to bring in, I'll leave that for fully dry before I bring in my green pencil. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of this dark green. I'm just going to colour in the tops of these. It's totally not blueberry colours. I've got a blueberry bush, and the leaves are more, a lot more like garden green actually. But nice thing about crafting is you don't have to be realistic. You can just do what you want to do. There we go. So some of those. Yeah, well, if you saw my post on Facebook, I grow blueberries. I've got one little blueberry bush, and he's gorgeous. He's been with me for years, and yeah, he's doing all right. I mean, he's not massive, but he's doing all right. But the birds every year here, the birds eat more blueberries than I do, so I need to net it next year. So this is dark blueberry bushel and light blueberry bushel, and I'm just going to keep the dark right round the edges. We're going to try and get a 3D effect. Try being the operative word. So we're just going to keep that dark blueberry bushel around the edges. And then we're going to come in with the light blueberry bushel and just blend that line out. It needs more blending than some people think sometimes. The biggest problem I see people have with blends is that they don't actually work the ink. And I'm just going to come in with a bit of that just underneath the lip there. And then we're going to bring in the light azure afternoon, and we're going to go over the whole thing. You need to blend those lines, otherwise it just looks patchy. But that light is going to give us a little center spot in the middle, which I think is perfect. And exactly the same for all the others. You've got those artist shading lines, which really, really help when you colour in. Is that the light actually? Yeah. So just come in with the dark. I always say with colouring, if you don't want to blend, you don't have to. It just gives it a little bit more life. Makes it look 3D. But if it's not for you, you don't have to do it. If you just want to colour them flat, that is absolutely fine. Like that, and then just with this azure afternoon, I'm just going to blend those out. And then a quick scrub over the middle. Mary, when do you come home from your holiday? Are you over there for a while, or whereabouts do you stay in? I love the Isle of Wight. Had one of my best holidays, probably saying something, had one of my best holidays on my own on the Isle of Wight. I took a week out, took the ferry across. Before I met Russ, actually, I had a really lovely time. I went swimming in the sea before breakfast every morning, and then I just explored the island by bus. Quite happy in my own company. And then just that light there, look. One more, and then I will show you how to use that green pen. That's the light again. It gets quite confusing when you've got 3 pens on the go, but it's worthwhile, I think. So that's the dark. We'll put the lid back on that one, and then the light. Just a little bit of that. I want to leave some space. I've put quite a lot of dark on there. If you don't leave the space for your lightest pen, you don't get the differentiation between light and dark that you need in order to make it look 3D. There we go. Okay, now we can bring in the pencil. Paternal grandfather and his family came from the island. Oh, did they? Whereabouts? Do you know whereabouts, China? Have you ever visited? We've got a guy at work who lives on the island. He catches the ferry over every day, or every shift that he's in. So I'm just using this coloured pencil, this green pencil, quite lightly, to be honest. And you want to fade it out so you can see, if I bring that up, then you can see you're just fading it out to blend in. The harder you press with the watercolour pencils, or any colour pencil, any good pigmented colour pencil, the more colour you'll get. So really light to begin with, a light touch. And then in the center there, you can press a little bit deeper, a little bit harder, and get a richer color. Very different to how we work with the alcohol markers. Alcohol markers get a deeper and darker color the more coats that you put on of them. But this wouldn't get any deeper or darker if I use the same pressure. You have to use a harder pressure, push harder to get that deeper color. Just really brings it to life. Can you see the difference between the left side and the right side? Really, really makes that pop. It's Saturday, went to Osborne House is lovely. Oh, to look at the dolls. Mary, you don't need any more dolls. You don't need any more dolls to add to your collection. Although, who am I to talk? I'm a collector, so yes, you need more dolls. Bless you. Do you think you'll get one, or are you going to take some photographs? Yeah, I really love this technique. Especially when they've not given us a garden green pen, which I think is just rude. And nice and light to start with. You want to blend that in. You don't want to go dark. You want to go nice and light and blend that in. And then you can add those darker shades in the middle by pressing harder. Just working on that blend all the time. Ah, bless you, Mandy. Thank you. It's a practice. I had too much time on my head. No, too much practice. It's you just get to learn, I think. It like the pens become an extension of your hand almost. Whereas if you don't get the time to practice, it can feel a bit kind of clunky, like you don't really know what you're doing with it. Sandown. Oh, nice, Joanna. Great grandmother, the head really? Great grandmother was the head housekeeper at the Manor House in Sandown. It is a beautiful, beautiful area. I'm just going to bring in my snips. I'm going to go fussy cut this. So there are no dies. Might make some of you sad, but they're quite big images. If you've got a scan and cut, these would cut perfectly on the scan and cut. But I think they're really quite an easy image to fussy cut. Oh, bless you, Jacqueline. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoy colouring. It's one of the things I love the most in life, I think, actually. Yeah, I love colouring. And I think even better when I get to use my colouring to make handmade cards. I always used to do the adult colouring books, but you never do anything with your pictures. And I still enjoy them. I still enjoy them, but sometimes it's really nice just to be able to do a little bit of colouring and then use it in something. Oh, listen, yeah, keep practicing. Exactly that, Mandy. It really is. It's just practice, practice, practice. And then you will see the results. And I'm really glad you did, because it can get a bit disheartening at first, but like anything, like any new skill, isn't it? We've got to practice. Oh, grandfather was an illegitimate child. Oh dear. Scandal in the family. Bless you. So what we've got now is our bits and bobs. We're going to start assembling. So this is going to go down flat onto your card. So white layer. White on white can be really effective. We don't do enough white on white sometimes. And build those layers up. Helps you clean and simple look. Helps it look less kind of plain, more interesting. So this one here is this. So this is my left-hand side. I'm just going to put a really, really thin stripe of glue down that left-hand side, and then I'm going to line it up against here. Just figure out which. I'm going to go about there actually. Figure out kind of which side you want it to, your design to come out on, and how far. And then that can go there, and that's going to layer straight onto our card there. Look how much that blue pops against that white background. Ah, bless you. Thank you so much, Shaz. You have used to make huge cards. Mary, I don't make many big cards, but they look so wonderful. Right, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not moving this or getting glue all over my hands, which is my usual trick. And then that can just go down straight onto your card base, or onto the layer underneath anyway, I should say, like that. And then we'll bring in this little bit here and some, it does, doesn't it, Janet? It does look gorgeous. Oh, you did some family tree investigating, finding out all the juicy details. It's never something that's really interested me though. I'm surprised because I quite like researching. I know someone in our family did a little bit, kind of up the line, I think, but I don't know who it was. So that's our card, and then this is just going to sit over the top here. So do you remember I said we're going to cover the top bit of that blending? Just adds a real bit of colour onto there. You don't need much at all. And then just a little scrap, and I've brought in the dies from Country Bird House. These little flower dies are great, very, very multi-purpose. I've actually just got a little scrap here left as well. This is my baby trimmer. Gets used for so much. Use it for probably 90% of my die cutting. Who else loves their little baby machine? Oh, it's bonus days. Bonus days at the moment as well. If anybody wasn't aware, if you order through Stampin' Up, through myself or through anybody in Stampin' Up over the next month, so gosh, we are a third of the way through already, and I'm only just kind of figuring it out. You get, for every £45 spent, you get a £4.50 coupon, which you get to spend in August. So it's like 10% cash back on your purchases, which is amazing. I love it. I love bonus days. They're a very, very popular promotion because you get something more for your money. And I'm just going to cut one more. I think I need another piece of card. I want another big one. Let's see if this little scrap might fit. Or just. I'm not normally really good at using scraps. I try to be. I tend to just put them aside and use them at a later date. And sometimes I don't quite get around to it. Oh, yeah, definitely give it a go. This will work, honestly, it will work with so many different stamp sets, this layout. Emma's used it already in 3 different cards. And we did it at team training, and everybody had different sets, and they all looked gorgeous. Just kind of trying to change that light a little bit. No, was that better or worse? It's just quite glaring. Look, you can't see the white on white, that's all. So that's going to go up there. That's going to go down there somewhere. And we're just going to stick those on with some wet glue. You can shape the edges of them if you want a little bit. Oh, Louisa, lovely to see you. You're all right. Not late, never late. Just always exactly on time as you need it to be. If you're busy doing other things. That's called life, isn't it? That one's going to go there, and then this little one's going to go up here. And then I did something that I never do before, and I only did it because I was at a class, online class the other day, and Emma was leading the class, and she stamped out the greetings on embossed white onto black, and she did a whole set of them at the same time, and I was like, that's such a clever idea. Why do I never do that? So I did at the time, and I've been using them ever since. I only did 3 or 4 actually, but enough to keep me going. So this is Sending Birthday Hugs. That is from the new one. I say new. Catalogue's been out a while now. The walrus, the hamster. What else animal-wise has it got in there? But the cute one, the cutesy animal set. So a little bit of foam tape on the back of that one. And I'm going to have it just overlapping that flower and sticking down like that. And then what do we need? We just need a few gems. These are from the Mediterranean Bloom set as well. They're a really, really gorgeous colour, and I've gone for the white ones, clear ones. Oh, thanks, Louise. Oh, hey, Jules. How are you doing? Nice to see you online. Yeah, I love this. It's a great design, great stamp set, great colour. You can't really go wrong. So yeah, if you need the measurement for this, the white piece of paper across the middle is 5.5 centimetres by 14, or whatever the height of your layer would be. And then it's just literally a case of blending some ink on, stamping the stamp, whatever stamp set you want over the top, and putting a focal point top left. Great design. All credit to the wonderful Emma Goddard. There's my little card. There's the one I made earlier. Very, very similar, just a slightly different height. It depends where your stamping finishes and how you kind of start your stamping off. Yeah. Oh, the only other thing I didn't do, it's probably a bit late now, I was waiting for it to dry, is I just splattered a bit of ink, look. So a bit of water. So let's go for it, because actually none of this is going to be harmed by a little bit of water. So I'm just grabbing a water painter, and I just get some in my hand, and then we're just going to flick a little bit of water, and the water will react with our water-based inks. Probably enough, actually. And it's just going to, can you see it reacting? Water. Hello, Wendy. How are you doing? All right. And then if you want to, you can either just leave it to dry, or you can dab off. You can dab the ink off afterwards. But yeah, I think that's a nice little touch just to finish. Or it should be to start, but we did it to finish. So there we go. Card number 1. So sticking with really, really similar colour palettes. I like when I've got kind of something out already that I'm working with, I like to try and stick to it, because it can be a bit, you think you need all the new supplies again. I want to show you multiple ways to use the same stamp set. So whatever you've got out on your desk. So straight again, white card, make a card base. So it's 10.5 by 14.5, sorry, 21 by 14.5, scored in half at 10.5. And then we've got our white layer, which we've already cut to size at 14 by 10. And then we do just need another piece of white card. And that one is going to measure 6.5 by 9.5. So just put that to 6.5. 6.5 by 9.5. And you'll need a piece of blueberry bushel, or whatever colour cardstock you want, really. Blue wise, you could go light blue, you could go dark blue. I'm going to cut that to 7 by 10. So just 0.5 centimetre bigger. That's the blueberry bushel cardstock. Cut that down to 7 by 10. Okay, so that one will layer onto that one. That's perfect. So what we're going to do with this is grab our water-based marker. So this is a Stampin' Right marker. And I'm using these a lot more for flicking ink these days. I used to use my alcohol markers all the time. And I was like, why am I not using these? A, they're a lot easier to clean up. The nibs are a lot stronger. I don't think you get as kind of many big dots. It tends to be a little bit more fine spray. But I love the fact that I can literally just grab a tissue and wipe that off. Whereas with the alcohol marker, you'd need to get rubbing alcohol, surgic spirits, or even hand sanitizer, something like that to do that with. Oh, you could use the check ribbon, Louisa. That would look lovely. And then that's going to stick straight onto that one. So we're kind of creating ourselves a little focal point. And then we'll bring in our main piece of card again, that layer that was 14 by 10. And we'll bring back in our cardboard, our messy cardboard. And our inks. So remember, we've got Azure Afternoon and Blueberry Bushel. We'll start with the Blueberry Bushel. And this time what we're going to try and do is create like an ombre effect, but starting the outside and going into the middle. So where am I going to put this? Up there. So this is our blue Stampin' Blend. You really don't want to come in very far with this dark colour. If you come in too far, you'll lose the effect. So just try and keep it right to the edges. Can you see? just to the edges to begin with. Just touch that blending brush onto the card just to get enough colour. I always say this, I'm probably sound like a stuck record. You can always add more ink later, but you can't, I think my computer is going to die, but you can't take it away again. Just keep saying low disk space. You're running out of disk space on the PC. Manage storage, but it keeps downloading things. I'll be like, I'm not doing anything, and the computer all of a sudden is like downloading files. I'm like, what files are you possibly downloading? I don't understand. And so yeah, we're just going to touch that on there. So I might need to hire Russ's tech abilities and get him to sort my computer out for me. It's making a horrible. The fan is making a horrible noise. Everything feels like it's just taking a lot longer to work. So I wouldn't be surprised before long. So there we go. There's our outside. That's our outside piece. All right. So I've kept it really. You can go back in and just add a little bit more around the edges should you want to. I've kept that nice and light. To begin with, just for that first layer. Okay, and then we'll bring in the Azure Afternoon. We've already got dark blueberry bushel on this, so we're just going to be blending out. Just going to blend out. So I'm going to come in with this Azure Afternoon, and we're going to make this go. But again, don't come too far into the middle. You want to leave some white space, and I'll show you. This is why we did this bit first. So that we've got it to have a look at. I'll show you what we're looking for. Yeah, this is a really great colour. If you don't have blueberry bushel or Azure Afternoon in your life, I highly recommend adding them to your stash. I don't think you'd regret it. Especially if you've got this blueberry stamp set. I think it's brilliant. Okay, so let's take that away just so that we can see what's going on. You've got that real kind of highlight into the middle, and then that's going to go onto the outside. So I could probably get away with a little bit more, but I want to see that halo still. I really debated with the layout of this card, and I'll show you what I felt like I was going to do in a minute. But actually, I think that's enough. If I go any darker, I'm going to lose that real shine in the middle. I hope you can kind of grasp what I'm saying. Sometimes I don't think I make an awful lot of sense with words. So bring that back in. Bring this back in. So for those of you who weren't on earlier, and a couple of new people have joined, I filled one of the white craft ink pads from Stampin' Up. They come empty and you get the white refill on top, like separate. I filled it with Memento. So I'm using that as my black ink pad. And I'm just going to start and go round the edge. You are going to cover all of this up. So don't worry about what it looks like in the middle, if that makes sense. But don't get any of these edges. Don't get any of the leaves overlapping if you can help it. It's difficult. Just keep going round the edge. And then at some point you might just have to infill with a leaf, but you just see how you get on. So if I stamp down there like that, then I might get one in here. So let's go in here like this actually. Oh, I might not need to. I might just be able to go in with the whole stamp. Look, like that. Perfect. And then I can literally just put a little leaf on the edge like that. So when you come around to the edge, just keep playing until you can get it right. And it was at this point I was like, I love how that looks in the middle. I couldn't figure a way to get my focal point on here without it just not feeling very grounded. So I love how that looks. Using the white Memento pad for 6 months, game changer. It really is, Shaz, isn't it? Absolute game changer. Yeah, I'm really happy with my Memento ink again. It just stamps beautifully every time. Whereas before I was finding with the felt pad, I was finding there were spots that were not inked and spots that were over inked. Beautiful. So at this point, I thought, why don't I bring in the circles from that? I can't find it now. Here it is. The Spotlight on Nature. And I was going to try and do something like this with a focal point over the top. I just couldn't make it work how I wanted. So I've gone with fairly traditional layout, one of my favoured layouts, which is just a panel. So there's our card. Here is our, we'll just put a little bit of water on this actually. Same as I did before. Grab some ink. And then just splatter this round. And that's going to react with the water-based inks that we've got. You can do as much or as little as you like. That's the nice thing about this. And then just remember to wipe off your mat. And then that one can go stick straight down on top of that card front. The glue. Just gorgeous. That blue and white is a really nice combo. Okay, so we've got our center panel. We can pop that on dimensionals. I tend to put a fair amount of dimensionals onto kind of panels like this. Just think it, you don't want it sagging. And then the most tricky part of any card making is to get this on straight. I think that's about right. But yeah, I like how you can just about see that white border through there as well. So we'll bring back in our stamp, our white card, sorry. We'll grab a block and we're going to use the other stamp that's in this set. So if you haven't seen this set, here it is. It's got some really, really nice sentiments. Actually, it's a shame that I'm not using them here. But there we go. I've used them on other things. It's lovely, this one, For You. Sending you bunches of birthday wishes. Beautiful font on the thank you. I'm going to grab this one here now and we will give that a stamp with that memento again. Should just about fit on there, I think. Beautiful. And then exactly the same colours as before. So lemon lime twist, blueberry bushel. So we've got blueberry bushel, dark and light, and then the light azure afternoon for our berries. I should have. Here's where I would like. Here's one I made earlier, but I stuck it on the card, so I can't. Shame. You'll have to watch me colour. I think this is running out. This is the. Oh, that's the light lemon lime twist. I need a new one. Need to put a new order in. So this is the dark, just going down the centre. But yeah, it's bonus days, so good a time as any to order right now. Every £45 spent means you get a £4.50 voucher that you get to spend then in August. So it's a little bit like a 10% reward coupon that you get to spend later, which is amazing. If you happen to live near me, I am putting an order in soon, so give me a shout and I can save you the postage as well. I had a lady, she didn't order, it was an ink pad and ink refill, bless her. Never heard of her before. New customer to me. Selected no contact, but she only lives down the road. And I just desperately would like to reach out and say, I could have saved you £7 postage. Because I could have ordered it and then I would have just dropped it in. She's literally in the same town as me. But I have to honour the no contact, which is a real shame. But hopefully I can help her out in the future. Okay. this is the leaves done, almost. I get bored of colouring sometimes. Like, and not for me, but I get bored of colouring when I'm on camera. So I'm like, all I can think of is you guys sitting there patiently waiting. I'm always a bit impatient. I want the card to be made. Make the card. And then all I'm going to do is grab some... Oh, that's no good. Grab some of that dark and just come up and down the stem. Come in a little bit with that light. Although most people do tell me they actually find they quite like watching me colour. I'm not sure whether that's creepy or not. or not. No, not at all. I don't mean that. I'm joking. I've just got a weird sense of humour. Okay, so I'm just going to colour these in with a little bit of dark and then a little bit of light. Do you know what? I've got one of those senses of humours. I'm really quite sarcastic. Some people just don't know how to take it, and they think I'm being serious. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know how to say that. I would never think like of doing those things. I can't think of an example. But they're like, oh no, you can't do that. And I'm like, no, I know. I'm literally joking. It's just my sense of humour. Right, there we go. So now we're going to bring in this blueberry bushel. Light and dark. And then this is the light azure afternoon. And what I tend to do is I just put it like that with the lid on, but it's not fully clicked on. I just leave that on my desk. I don't like having the pens open more than needs be. They are alcohol. They will dry out quicker than a normal water-based pen. If you think about the actual properties of alcohol, it dries quickly. And the same is true for our alcohol markers. So the more you have the lids off them unnecessarily, the more you are going to struggle with the pens. And it really is up to you how you hold them. But I will sometimes hold both lids. Sorry, so yeah, you find you get my sense of humour, Shaz. So then I just hold the pens like this, and I can just put them back in. Like obviously that one actually lives in there. But I'll just hold them in my hand like this, so they're not actually clicked in, but it just means that they're resting inside the lids. But to be honest, it probably doesn't make much difference for the length of time we're colouring. Probably doesn't make any difference, but it makes me feel better that I'm making them last as long as possible. This is where I'm got to make sure I don't rush. Then I'll colour over the edges. Your husband is sarcastic as well. Took you quite a while for you not to take things seriously. Oh, Cindy, I know. And I'm the most gullible person in the world. So, like, if it was being done to me, I would believe everything. Yep. I'm not, like, I'm so gullible. I believe everything. But yeah, it's quite challenging. I imagine. The other way around. It's me making the jokes. I totally get it. But if it was someone else had a sarcastic sense of humour. All right, there we go. That was that. Like, Russ is really cynical. We went out to the New Forest once to a restaurant, and one of the restaurants had a plaque on it, and it was saying something like, oh, you know, I don't mean, my history is terrible, but some person from history stayed here on his way to, and I'm like, wow, look at that. That's amazing. This is where that, and they was like, they could literally just get a piece of plaque, put it on the wall and say anything. And everyone would go in there and get the business because they believed it. I'm like, yeah, that would be me. Whereas he's very much more doubting Thomas. He wants proof, evidence. This is the dark. So if you weren't here to watch me colour the first ones in, I'm just going to go around the outside with that dark blueberry bushel. And then we'll bring in the light blueberry bushel just to blend that into. Your husband is exactly the same as well. People take him seriously. It's so funny. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to backtrack. Like, genuinely not being serious. Deadpan responses I get sometimes. And then we're just going to go in with that light, and that is going to give you that glowing look of the blueberry. So you've got the artist lines really help here as well, because that shading is already half done for us. It's going to add in some of that definition and depth to your colouring. You can add a nice layer of dark and then a nice layer of light. Just blend that in. Like I said right in the beginning, I said a lot of people struggle with blending because they don't actually scrub at the lines. They literally just colour over it once, and they need more than that in there with my marker. And then we'll fussy cut that one out as well. Oh, we haven't gone over with the green. This just helps so much. This is a green watercolour pencil. If you don't have watercolour pencils, just any green pencil. But I love this look of that garden green against the lemon lime twist. So just take your time. You'll get a better blend than me because I'm not going to rush actually. I've got plenty of time. Just take your time, get a nice blend, nice and lightly at first. Just add some of that colour on. You're just blending that out to the lemon lime twist leaves that we've already done, and then you can just add more pressure in the centre, and that's going to add that depth of colour. So pretty. If you haven't tried this before, I really recommend it. Look how much those two leaves pop in comparison with the other two. It's so worth it. Just take the pencil, and I think one of the nice things with colour pencil over alcohol markers is you can get a really nice fine, like I haven't here, but you can really sharpen your pencils to a fine point and add some real detail. It's one of the things I colour on the alcohol marker course, which I am going to bring back next year. I debated, I've ummed and ahed, and I've had a few bits of interest, so I'm going to shortly be setting up like a homepage on my website for the colouring course. So if you've done it before and you want to come again, that would be amazing. I might even offer a little discount if you're a returning customer. I might have to have a look at what uptake's like. But yeah, they tend to be really, really fun. Everyone says they love them. It's four lessons. It's like a proper course. It takes you right the way from the beginning to some more of the advanced techniques as well. And this is one of the things we cover is a little bit of mixed media. Mixed media is when you use multiple mediums. Alcohol markers and colouring pencils are two different mediums. Mix them together, you've got mixed media. Ah, bless you. Thanks, Joanna. I promised you I would do it. Is that the colouring course? Shaz, yes, I know. I forget who I've said what to. You'll have to text me and tell me. I promise. But yeah, I am definitely going to bring it back for next year. I say I have ummed and ahed. I thought work was going to get a bit busier. I thought there was going to be an opportunity for promotion. That sadly is no longer the case unless I want to take a pay cut. And I'm not convinced anyone in their right mind, unless they're looking for like forward future career progression, which I'm really not, to be honest. I don't know why anyone would take a promotion at a pay cut. So no, thank you. I'll stick with my current job. So it's going to mean I've got the time still to devote to my Stampin' Up business, which is amazing. But yeah, I was looking forward to a bit of a work challenge, but yeah, that's not going to come my way. I do keep looking. I don't know why. I keep looking, but I do keep looking for other jobs. But the right thing. It's got to be the right thing. I love what I do. If you don't know, I manage the shipping traffic in and out of our local harbour, and I absolutely love it. It's where my heart is. I'm an ex-naval navigator, although you wouldn't believe it if you asked my team, because I can't navigate them anywhere on land. But yeah, I'm an ex-naval navigator, and I just love shipping. Jill, you can. It is an online course. Yes, absolutely. I've had a few ask for in person, but I think that's going to be challenging. I just don't think I'm going to get enough people. But I will look at it. I will open it. I will open it up provisionally as an online, definitely, and I might look at doing an in-person element as well. Different one. I normally run like 2 colouring courses a year. It's a spring and an autumn one. So the autumn one normally starts literally with the new catalogue, so kind of October, November, December. And then the spring one is January, February, March. And then that gives me the summer off. So yes, Absolutely. No, it makes sense because so many people watch from all over, and it means they're recorded. It means you can catch up, it means you can watch back. So you've got loads of options when you do an online course. When you've got an in-person course, it means, so I'm just reading Mandy's pay cut. Yeah, it's probably Mandy because I shift work. So if you go day work, I get so many bonuses for shift working. Working nights and weekends and bank holidays and Christmas. As soon as you go to a day work position, you lose all of those. So it's a pay cut. So yeah, it's really difficult once you've been a shift worker to come non-shift worker because you automatically lose money. Yeah, Louise, I know I've got a few of you interested in person, so I will look at it. But yeah, I would definitely do an online one starting in the autumn. So the Christmas catalogue, the winter catalogue comes out for demonstrators to view at the end of July. And from there, I start making my plans. So yeah, I'm definitely doing it. Been in your current job for 22 years, Mandy. What do you do? If you don't mind me asking. If you don't want to say publicly, you can reach out. 22 years is a long time. Yeah, I've been with mine 10 years now. And I think you reach that point, don't you, where you kind of think, oh, do I need to move on? But unless I move, like there's only so many ports around the country. It's not like I can do this job just anywhere. So yeah, that's fussy cut, just added all my non-dimensionals. I don't have a sentiment for this one, so I'm going to leave it sentiment-less. And that means that I can just add a sentiment. But it will be, I'll show you the one that I've done. It will be white on black. I'm really enjoying that look. I don't know why I'm bringing my trimmer in with my dies. It's the end of the evening. I'm just going to bring in a little bigger piece of white. Same flowers as before. So again, I wanted to show you a completely different layout with the same products because I think it's really important. Like you don't have to have everything. I know we want everything. Oh, I did know that, but I'd totally forgotten. Yeah, special center. It must be a really difficult yet rewarding job, that I can imagine. I think it's really a really good job to do. I'm not convinced I'd have the patience for it, but it must be really challenging, but also really rewarding. You'll be 20 years in August in your current workplace. It's like if you get recognised, like, I mean, my other half got a certificate when he did 5 years with his job and he got a little red letter days, not much, but, 25 quid to put towards a meal or something. We get nothing, but, I know a lot of that is working for the public sector. I mean, there's just no money. But yeah, he gets, and when he goes away, he gets like all of his meals paid for and everything, like in nice restaurants. Yeah, they look after him really well, actually. I think he'll be there for a while. You've worked for the state government for 25 years. Oh, and the pension's good. I will say that, Cindy. I don't know where you are based, actually, but yeah, I work for the government, the public sector, and yeah, pension's really good. Pay is not great, but it makes up for it in other areas, I think. You have to look at the whole package when looking at a job, don't you? So we've got 4 of these gorgeous flowers. We are just going to stick them on. Again, just give it a little bit of shape if you want to. Applied for memorial consultant, another job in education, but you really fancy a change. Yeah, not highly paid at all. And for the stress, for the hard work that must be. Yeah, I totally get that, Mandy. Totally get it. I'm quite lucky. My job is really quite low stress. Like it's high responsibility. But once you've been doing it a while, it's not all that stressful. It was when I first started. You get really quite comfortable. Just got to make sure you don't get complacent. But yeah, it's not all that high stress. And the commercial ports I know are very commercially driven. So they're kind of managers and stuff are looking at like pushing all the time. Get the ships away. It's like safety should come first. But because everything's money, isn't it, in the civilian sector? Oh, you're in the NHS, you used to get an extra day off and £100, but not anymore. No, all gone. All gone. Pay as average, benefits make it work. Yeah, exactly that, Cindy. Exactly that. Same. And I'm always having to say to my guys, look at the big picture. Look at the big picture. It's more than the advertised salary. So just a couple of these gems again, and then we're about done. that was fun. I enjoyed that. Thank you so much to everybody for hopping on. I don't know if many of you have got this set, but I loved it, especially because I'm a real blueberry grower. So there's my card. That's what it would look like with the sentiment in place. So I'm going to add a sentiment later on. And I'll bring in the one we made earlier as well. So 2 gorgeous, gorgeous cards. The colour is amazing. 40... Worked for the NHS for 44 years. Wow. Wendy, I hope you are enjoying your well-earned retirement. Absolutely. Totally well-deserved after 40 years in the same hospital. One is a bit pants, but love all the... Oh, I bet. Yeah. Time for a new challenge. Well, honestly, Mandy, fingers crossed for you. I really, really hope that you're successful. Yeah, it's a hard process, but good luck. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Bless you all. The blue is stunning. Get the blueberry bushel out if you haven't. I made a bit of a mess of mine. I was trying to... I don't know what I was doing, actually. I think I was reading the comments as well as trying to ink my blending brush up. But they're water-based inks, so it just comes off. There's our cards. The stamp set is a really, really pretty one. The bonus days are happening. I would get the stamp set, but I don't know what I've done with it. No, I don't know what I've done with it. But anyway, yes, stamp set is amazing. Thank you so much for everybody for joining. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. I've loved spending some time with you. I don't know whether I'll be here next week or not. I don't know what our plans are. Like I say, we are both on holiday, but I was here and around tonight. So, here's the stamp set. I threw it on the floor. I remember now. Looked at the set in the catalogue, said you weren't going to get it, but seeing what I've done with it makes you think you need it. You can never have too many fruits in life. That's the stamp set there, and the sentiments are amazing. So, yeah, I'm not sure what we'll be doing next week. We are having a staycation, but if I'm around, I'll hop on live, and if not, I won't. But I'll see you the week after because I am back and I'll be working the day shift, so I'll be here in the evening. Anyway, that's enough about me. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening and a wonderful, wonderful weekend ahead as well. Hopefully the sun will shine for a little bit for us. And who's been watching the football on Sunday? I actually have been following it. I'm not a fan, but I have been following it. So, yeah. Bless you, I will. Thank you so much indeed. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all again really soon. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.